Gentlefolk, ferals, and domesticated cryptids, I am Optometron, and welcome to Wonder Bathos. I am here today with a guest that I am extremely excited to have, Mr. Cheesepopps. I met this dude playing Spelunky with Tanuki Dan and Trip Draws, and we have fast become doppelgangers slash friends slash trying to murder each other inside every video game that we play, and it's been a wonderfully blossoming relationship. So how are you doing tonight, Cheesepopps? Would you like to introduce yourself?
I am doing great. Cheesepopps. There's those people you meet for the first time, and you know right away, like, one, I don't have to, I can just be my stupid self, and two, that they're like, I knew you were gonna be stupid. When I saw you leap majestically over Tanuki Dan and myself as Toad, and not even give a second thought to it, I'm like, all right, we're gonna be buddies. This guy likes video games, and more importantly, likes having fun with video games and doesn't take things too seriously. So
Yes.
I knew right away.
Excellent. Yeah, no, it is. It's just one of those things that just clicked right off the bat. It is awesome. I'm glad to have you as a friend, and again, I'm honored to have you on the show. It's gonna be a riot. So everybody at home and on YouTube, buckle up because it's gonna be an awesome ride. So first things first, we have to ask the basic questions so that the audience can get to learn a little bit about you. So Cheesepopps, where did your name come from? And how did it end up sticking?
So it was a conversation with the wife, and I always liked the name I Ate Your Pie, one of my favorite streamers. And I just like the nonsense of the name, like had something to do with food, and just saying the name out loud is fun. Also, you could either be I Ate or just Pie. You have multiple nicknames. And so I like cheese, and Pops is just fun. And so I think she said Cheesepopps, and I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And we looked it up, and someone already had it, so I was not going to think of something else. So I added an extra P at the end, and
Perfect.
there it is. So now the extra P stands for brain, so we're good.
Yeah, no, I think the extra P, like for branding reasons, I think the extra P does make it stand out a little bit more. And for all intents and purposes, Pops. It's a word that pops. I don't know how else to say that. So Cheesepopps. So it definitely stands out amongst the rest of the streamer community. I do absolutely love it.
And stumbled into like cheese. You can't say cheese without smiling, and like that's the
true.
goal of every streamer, is that just smile and have fun. So you can either call me Cheese or Pops or Cheese. Like I just like all three, like the full name or the first or second part. Just a lot of options with it, and so I'm glad she thought of it. Or it doesn't matter. You know what? I gave her credit, so that's good, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if she has we can edit it later if we need to. I can just.
Appreciate it. You know what? I think you came up with it actually, Opto.
We'll pre-record you saying some nice things about her, and I'll just stick it in after in post.
Let's go.
It'll be fun. So how did you find Twitch then? So it seems like you found Twitch first before you came up with the name. If I'm tracking correctly. So like, how did you find Twitch, and what was your inspiration to get into streaming?
That is true. My Xbox gamer tag was Mr. Farts beforehand, and I didn't think that would transfer over. So it was a thought process. I just thought you were betrayed by Mr. You can't be mad at Mr. Farts.
You can't be mad at that. I love that so much. I used to way back when. I used to play Call of Duty, a lot of Call of Duty, like the first Black Ops and World at War. I played the hell out of those games, and I played with this kid. And I say kid, but he was like the same age as me. I played with this dude, and he went by the gamer tag Sunshine Unicorn, and it was the funniest thing ever, because every time you would get killed by his character, it'd be like, you just got killed by Sunshine Unicorn. And same premise, you can't be mad at that. Like, you just got killed by Mr. Farts.
That was the plan, because like I'm here to have fun, and like the original days of Xbox 360 were the most toxic of like anything, and I'm like, I don't want to let any. And then like from then on out, people are like, oh, we got Mr. Farts, and Mr. Farts, you're doing bad, but it's okay, you're stupid. So
your audio is cutting in and out a little bit. Is that? Ooh. I don't know if that's me or if that's you. I guess let me try to end this. I'm going to shut down this feed real quick and see if that works.
Man, I got nothing else. Oh, wait, let me close this.
I mean, I have a, hey, something went wrong and we couldn't stream from the sound from your application. Oh, that's probably why. Okay, so that makes sense. I think it is on my end. There's always something. There's always something that happens. Yeah, you're just going to have to pretend like you're looking at me. I'm so sorry.
Apology rejected.
I know. That's it. Stream's over.
Stream's over.
Thanks. Everybody thank my guest, Cheesepopps. That's it. We're done here. We're done here.
It's a good interview. At least people know about Mr. Farts now. That was the best part.
I mean, we can just, if you want to tell that story a couple more times, we could use that as some filler. Use that as some filler. At least once per these podcast episodes, there's at least one issue somewhere, and so as long, we're taking it out early. We're getting it out of the way early. It's fine. We'll be fine for the rest of it. You can't see me anymore, but if for some reason the audio keeps cutting out, then it's not your fault, and then it's my fault, and then we'll just go from there.
Well, you can always blame someone else, you know.
It's Dan's fault. We'll just blame Dan. Yeah,
it's a good target.
Yeah, Dan or Trip, one of them. It's good.
Both.
We'll just
combination.
Go with that. So in preparation of this episode, I did want to do something a little bit different with this episode. I got some obtained. I'm just going to say I obtained. I found them somewhere under a rock outside. Found some really ridiculous and silly interview questions. So that's going to be this portion. I'm going to ask you some silly questions, and this is going to be a new segment for the podcast. So welcome to episode 1 of Silly Questions with Cheesepopps.
I should be good at this because so far you've asked me one question. How did I find Twitch? And I said a story about Mr. Fart. So I'm doing good. I'm answering these questions. I'm locked in. Locked in.
Yo, you know what? I forgot about that. How did you find Twitch? Answer it.
So it was I saw a Keezer on GDQ run on YouTube. I watch YouTube retro videos all the time, and I saw GDQ. I'm like, what is this? What is this event? And the run by Keezer was hilarious. And then I watched, like, I found every GDQ video I could find, and then I found like Mario Maker, Grand Pooh Bear, things like that. I'm like, where are these people hanging out and doing this? And then it was all on Twitch. So I downloaded Twitch, and that was like, I was hooked. That for the rest of my life, I will be watching people play video games because it's the best. When I'm too lazy to play it myself, there is always a friend out there playing something I want to see. So I love it. So
yes, I told somebody that today. Like, somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, like, I'm having kind of a bad day. Do you have like time to talk? And I was like, I'm at work right now. I really can't. I was like, but cool thing about Twitch is there's always somebody cool on, and they have awesome communities. You know, like, you might not be able to talk about stuff, but you can at least, you know, go watch and get your mind off of stuff for a little bit and kind of talk and socialize and yeah, and just kind of woo-saw, you know, get things off your mind for a little bit. So Twitch is a wonderful tool for that, for sure.
It's so huge. Like, there's so many friends you meet from streams too, and communities that, like, if you are feeling down in the dumps, there's always that one friend you met. Like, okay, this person will put up for me talking about like work, or this person will talk about relations. Like, there's just so many people willing to help out in Twitch.
Yeah, or you can just find a stream and talk about Mr. Farts for a little while.
Right.
I got Mr. Farts. Oh man. All right. So now we're circling back around. We're coming full circle. We're coming back to the silly questions. It is time. So, Cheesepopps, I want you to answer these as seriously as possible. If you were a vegetable, which one would you be and why?
I would be corn on the cob.
Oh, a prepared vegetable. Okay.
It is the best vegetable. Like, is it even good for you? It's like the only vegetable that's not even good for you.
It's no, it's not the only one, but it's close to. Corn and I think like lettuce have like just regular lettuce have no nutritional value to them. But they're delicious. And yeah,
iceberg lettuce and corn, where you have to cover it in either ranch or butter and salt. Like, I'm actively working against your health.
It's so good though. It's so good though. Yeah. Ranch is awesome. Butter's awesome. We are not dietitians, so this is not a health podcast. But it is good. I love the way it tastes. That's a good answer.
My wife is a registered dietitian, so she's not going to be happy about that.
I can't even think of what would be my favorite vegetable. I'm going to say corn too. Corn's my answer as well.
So good. It's
Uh,
delicious.
if you were stranded on a desert island with only one type of sandwich, what kind of sandwich would it be?
It would be a turkey with lettuce, bacon, mayonnaise,
Ooh.
and Italian dressing.
Oh, you got that TBLT.
Like,
Oh,
if I
yeah.
if I could add more meats, there would be that, but, like, there's something about mayonnaise and Italian dressing mixed on a sandwich, and it has to be done right. Very light on the Italian, but it's my jam. Delicious.
I've never tried that before. That sounds delicious.
Sounds like I cheated, though. It's like a sub. I just made a sub.
Yeah. I mean,
I cheated.
yeah. I mean, not Italian dressing. It has like, like oil and vinegar is usually what goes on like a sub. So
That's what most people. It's good, but this sub shop at my hometown it was mayo and Italian, and like everything was homemade. It was so good. It's
oh,
my jam.
that does sound delicious. I was gonna say mine would be like a roast beef sandwich with like I only put Miracle Whip on this one sandwich. Everything else is mayonnaise. Everything else. Miracle
What?
Whip. It's a weird flavor combination. If you have Miracle Whip, roast beef, like any type American cheese or provolone, I would rather have provolone, and then the bread and butter pickles. Again, not a huge fan of like the sweet pickles, but for some reason that mixed with the Miracle Whip with the roast beef, just the flavor combination is amazing. You get the sweet and the savory mixed together. Oh, it is like just an explosion in your mouth. It is so good.
For you, Opto, I'm gonna try it, but Miracle Whip less good than mayonnaise. Bread and butter pickles less good than dill.
I know. I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna
I will
try
not.
it.
I will not eat them on anything else, and it's not. It's hard to make it because you have to buy those things specifically for this one sandwich, and then you're left over with a bunch of Miracle Whip and a bunch of bread and butter pickles that are not going to go on anything else. But it's worth it for this one sandwich. It's
Good
so
call on
worth
the roast
it.
beef too. Like the roast
Yeah.
beef. Why did I say turkey? Roast beef is like the Royce. What's that car?
The Rolls Royce of
Rolls
sandwiches.
Royce. That is hard to say. Yeah, roast beef is the like top tier lunch meat. I changed
It
my
is.
mind. I'm going with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roast beef all day.
Roast beef. Okay. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower? Oh God, I can't talk. Superpower be and why?
Okay, so I've thought about this for a while.
Nice.
I want the ability, if I can see someone, or if I could see them live on television, this counts too. I can make them poop their pants
That
because it's
is
hilarious, and
incredible.
also, like, I don't want too much. If you have like real super, the responsibilities would be insane. Like Spider-Man's my favorite. He has to go fight crime. His life is miserable. I don't want that. I just want a life of hilariousness. And I think it would be like some person's giving a speech on TV. I can just be like, boom. And I know, and they know that there's something dripping down their legs right then and there.
Oh God.
And I think you can cut this from the podcast, right?
No, I can't. This part is cemented in. This is staying
But just
in.
think about how hilarious that would be. Like someone cuts you off driving down the road. You can be like, pew. You know?
That is honestly, that's probably the best answer I have ever heard because it's realistic. You know what I mean? And you're right. There's no responsibility or anything behind it. It is definitely nefarious in nature, but it's also not like harmful, I guess.
It's relatively harmless. Like
It's relatively because people poop their pants at work all the time, right? Like it's a thing that happens to people. Like you can't stop it from happening. It's not like you're gonna lose your job because you crapped your pants at work, unless you do it like every day and you work in some sort of sterile environment.
Well, the person I work with, you got to have at least that deserves it. So they might have trouble, but
you cut out again and it was total quiet and then all you hear is but they deserved it though.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. That now I'm convinced it is on your end. It has to be your fault. But it didn't do it for a long time and then that happened right there. And it's okay because I pointed it out. So now the people that have been reversing on YouTube 15 seconds to try and figure out if it's on their end or not. Now they know for sure that it's our problem and not theirs.
It's a bummer.
Man, and you know what's crazy? Spider-Man is my favorite comic book character as well. I love Spider-Man. He is by far the most relatable superhero because like he deals with like everyday life problems that normal people would have. He's not like Bruce Wayne, where it's like, oh, I got another meeting to go to make another $1 billion, like in his real, like his life outside of the mask, you know. He has Spider-Man's a kid. He deals with like just like love life and just like family stuff. Yeah, so I get it. I love it. If you could have any animal as a pet, mythical creatures included, which one would you choose?
Wow. Like I had it lined up, dog, but then you're throwing in mythical creatures.
Yeah.
And dogs already don't respect me. Give me a couple of examples of mythical creatures.
Of mythical creatures, I don't like a jackalope or like a wendigo or like maybe a unicorn or
none of those would respect me.
Pegasus.
You know what? Let's go Pegasus.
Pegasus, horse with
the
wings.
Flying horse. That seems dangerous. I'll do that.
Yeah.
It'll kill me, but as I'm falling, I'll point at you and then you'll poop your pants. Worth it.
We just created a superhero. Your new superhero is you just make people poop their. You fly around on a Pegasus and you make people poop their pants. We're gonna make a comic book out of this.
I know that's. There's one kid like finally.
Something that speaks to my soul. We have to, you need a cool superhero name though. Like
I can't. Mr. Farts.
Mr. Farts, there it is. Yes. We already had it. It was right under our nose the whole time. No pun.
This podcast is off the rails already.
Mr. Farts, he just flies around. I'll write the theme music for it. We got this. We're gonna make a comic book out of this. Mr. Farts.
I have so many regrets.
I don't. This is the most amazing podcast that I've done so far. We created the perfect comic book character with the perfect superhero powers. Like I could just even like he happens to walk by like a real crime, like somebody's robbing a bank or something, and then like he's like, boom, you pooped your pants. One of them slips in it, and then like the cops rush in. You save the day, and
right.
You didn't have any responsibilities. You just made them.
Depending on the tightness of the pants too, there'll be a trail to follow. Like so, that's the thing. At first I can't control the consistency, but the stronger I get with my powers, then I can be like just molten lava or just like a couple of pellets, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you control like the consistency? Yeah, that'll be like your what is it? Your montage over time in the comic and how you learn to grow into your powers and stuff.
You could be my mentor.
Yeah, I'll be like the Master Splinter character that's in there.
Exactly.
And just like, oh, you're trying too hard. Like you can't just want them to crap their pants. You have to think that they're gonna crap their pants. So good. Oh my goodness. If you could only eat one type of candy for the rest of your life, which candy would it be?
Oh man, I'm overthinking that one. I like Almond Joy. Snickers are good. You know what? Let's just go with Snickers. That's Snickers. A good candy bar. It's never great. It's never terrible. It's always what you need it to be. You know? It's never my favorite, but it's never the worst.
I would say Snickers, but here's my caveat to that. If we're gonna do Snickers, I want the ice cream bar version of the Snickers.
I disagree. There's no nougat in there.
Really? There's a little bit. There's none. A little bit. What?
I had it for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I got it, and it's all ice cream, a little caramel, chocolate, and peanuts. There's no nougat. I was expecting half nougat, half ice cream. I was disappointed.
I'm disappointed for you. I think you got a dud, man.
I got it from Walmart. Maybe that's it.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna find the president and CEO of Snickers, and we're gonna make him crap his pants. Okay,
right, that's what we have to until they put nougat in. It's our only option.
We're gonna make
our hands are tied.
We're gonna make them have nougat.
Yeah.
This is our first mission as an official superhero team. Oh, it's so good. The next question was, if you could be any fictional character for a day, who would you choose and what would you do? But we just answered that. You'd become Mr. Farts, and we would make the CEO of Snickers crap his pants. So I'll just answer that one for you. How would you explain the concept of gravity to a 5-year-old? That's not a silly question. That's a tough one. That seems hard.
I would just say, like, jump And you see how you came back down? If you were in space or there's lower gravity, you fly up higher and fall back down slower, but you would
That's
still
good.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Demonstration. Yeah, yeah. No, that tracks. That tracks. That's solid. That's a solid answer. I'm writing that one down and I'm saving that for later. 'Cause
good.
I have a 3-year-old I will have to eventually explain that to. If you could wait, hold on. I missed a good one here. If you were a crayon, what color would you be and why?
Lime green, because I've never had that crayon. There was always that kid with like the crayon pack that had way too many flavors or color. I don't know why I call them flavors.
Flavors? Were you
I just
eating
had the
crayons as
small
a kid?
box, and then there was that one cocky kid with like 900 in the box,
Yeah,
and
he
they're
had
just running. Their pictures have all of these colors. I'm like, well, I black, green, purple, blue. I want the lime green.
dude, I was always jealous of that kid because that kid with that box, you remember it had the crayon sharpener on the back of it. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking? Yeah, yeah. The smaller packs never had that crayon sharpener.
so
So
arrogant.
yeah,
So arrogant too.
so
Like they
so
look
air.
their nose was so high up in the sky. It was ridiculous. If you were
Uh,
one of those kids, for shame.
yeah, yeah. For shame. You should feel bad. You should go donate a pack of crayons to a school somewhere because you were
No one
that
needs
kid.
64. That's an insane amount of colors.
It's so many colors.
I have
Uh,
19 colors of purples, Cheesepopps. How do you have? I'm like, well, I have half of one because it broke.
That would be my favorite pack. If there was like an Oops All Purple crayon set, I would love that.
Purple variety.
So, Oops All Purples. I would love that. That would be my favorite pack of crayons ever.
You good?
If you could trade places with any person in history for a day, who would it be and what would you do?
It would just be a really rich person, and then I would do like really rich people thing. Like, I mean,
For a
I would
day,
just
just
eat a lot of food. Yeah, like someone who could like have access to a lot of good food because there's a lot of things that rich people do I don't really care about, but the food I want to try what rich people food tastes
yeah,
like. I don't.
rich people do some weird like some stuff that's like even if I imagined having that kind of money, there's no way I would not spend my money on the stuff they
Yeah,
spend their money on.
I'm not into cars. I don't want to go fast. Like I can go to a I wanted to. I just wanted to like that's the only thing I'm jealous of that I'm not rich is I assume rich people food is amazing. It has to be. Why does it cost so much? I want to know.
I
I've
don't
never experienced it.
see. I'm sure there's plenty of 5-star food out there that is like to die for. I'm sure there's some really good 5-star food out there. My experiences thus far, though, with said 5-star food have not been good. The first time I ever ate at a 5-star restaurant, I was young. My family was in California. We were in San Francisco, like right on the water, or San Diego, whichever one is on a wharf. And I think it was San Diego. And so we're right there, and we went to the seafood restaurant, 5-star seafood restaurant, and I got grilled king salmon from a 5-star restaurant, fresh. First time ever eating fish, first time at a 5-star restaurant. The worst food poisoning I've ever gotten in my life for like 2 weeks, right? It was like I ran into Mr. Farts every day for
That
like
is
2
a
weeks.
shame. Maybe you did.
It was awful. It was so bad, and it just like scared me from ever eating fish, and it scared me from eating 5-star food ever again after that. And now I have had some 5-star food as an adult, and it always seems like the portions are really small. The flavors aren't like insanely better than like regular food. My most recent incursion is we went to this restaurant downtown in the downtown area here, and their whole thing was like fresh. Everything's vegan, right? And I understand that, I get it, but it was all fresh vegetables and stuff they used to make the food, and then like they did serve eggs, right? So whatever I got had like this red bean bacon type thing, and it just tasted like dog treats. Like it didn't taste.
Man.
And it was like expensive. It was like super expensive for it, and I'm like, this doesn't taste good. I will eat vegetables. I like vegetables. I don't mind eating at a vegan restaurant, but if I'm gonna do it, like I want it to taste good, you know. You can season the food. It's okay to season.
You're really bringing down this dream of mine. Like I'm imagining this like secret food that I'm not allowed to eat that tastes so much better. Like I'm here with McDonald's. I mean, that's it. Like I wouldn't even like the the five star experience would stress me out. Like, I do not like it when people serve me. Like, I'm
Oh
super
yeah.
uncomfortable when they're like, "Let me take that for you, sir." I'm like, "Let me help you." Like, I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
that, you know?
I'm the same way. Anytime I eat at a restaurant, like I always pile up my plates and stuff all nice and neat. Make
Yeah.
sure the silverware's put on one side. Make sure my napkins and stuff are on the other side, so everything's like, yeah. And then I always tip really well. So I
I'm the
definitely am right
same
there
way.
with you. Servers. I think that everybody should have to be work in the food industry for like a year or two of their life though to get some humility. You know, before you're allowed to go to those places, you should learn what it's like for those people before you actually go and have those people wait on you, you know. That was it. That was the end of the story. All right, good
I
night
liked it.
everybody.
It was a good story. It was a good story.
That's a good story. uh I hate ending stories. I rarely think about, unless we're playing Jackbox. I don't ever think of the end of the story. I'm just like, we're jumping in feet first. I'm gonna tell the story, and then I get to the end, and I'm like, and then that was it. And then I went home and I went to bed. That's how the story ends. If you woke up one morning and found yourself shrunken down to the size of a pencil, what would you do?
Did I cry? I don't know. My dog would eat me in a second. First chance my dog could betray me, he will. Um, so I'll be in bed. I'll probably just stay there crying until the wife comes home and have her call like a scientist or something, because that's not good. Like, we need some sort of scientist.
Ugh. We always need scientists. I feel like there's not enough funding in the academic community, or that the funding doesn't go as far. I don't want to get too real here for a second, but I've heard, and I don't know because I'm not involved in it directly, but I have heard from people in the industry as far as like research into certain diseases and stuff go. A lot of the funding and stuff that goes towards that goes to the organizations, and then the people doing the research at the time end up like graduating out or retiring out of it, and then new people come in to take over, but they don't really take over the research that's being done. They have to end up starting over, and I think that kind of is holding us back a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
I don't know
would
if
like
I'd call a scientist though now, because would they like the eye? Am I like a science experiment now? Because no one, that's never happened before. So they can't help me. Like, maybe I'd ask my wife just to like maybe call a doctor, not a scientist, a doctor, and just make sure I'm not gonna explode. And then, I mean, that'd be kind of nice.
yeah.
I'd have to figure out a way to play video games. I'd have to like shift the controller, but my TV's huge now, and like food costs are going to go down exponentially. You know, I could see making it work.
Yeah, as a tiny person. I mean,
Yeah.
you would have so much space to do like so many activities though. And think about it, relative to Earth's gravity, like for ants and stuff, you could like never get hurt. You could fall from any height and like never get hurt.
And if we like train my dog to not be evil, I could every dog. It'd be incredible.
You cut out, and all I heard was if I could train my dog not to be evil.
Train my dog not to be evil, and then I could ride him like a horse. It'd be every person's dream.
That's so good. That's so good. Oh man, I love it. I love it. That was a good answer. That was sorry I derailed that conversation for a second. I tried to slip a little bit of, hey, everybody, do your own research and get out there and look up some stuff. Be aware of what's happening in the world, you know, occasionally.
It is funny you said that, because there was a group doing a study on photosynthesis, and it's like, I guess, a long-term 20-year study, and the
Right.
janitor was in there, and one of the machines alarm was going off, and so the janitor unplugged it and ruined 20 years of work. And so the company is suing the company that pays the janitor for doing it. So the alarm was going off. He's like, I'm going to flip the breaker. I can't handle it. 20 years down the drain.
What would have happened if he had not hit the alarm? Like, what would happen if he didn't hit the breaker though? Like,
Probably nothing. It's just like, hey, the everything's okay alarm. I don't know. It's just something that annoyed that janitor enough that he boomed, just ended it.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
that's a
always
bummer.
that's always sad, man. Like when something happens to a company, like obviously of some prestige, and then like it's somebody that doesn't have the means to be sued, and then they end up suing that person. And it's like, what are you gaining out of this except for ruining somebody else's life? Like, come on now. He didn't mean to. It wasn't like
he
was
meant to. And they're not suing him. They're suing the company that didn't train him well enough. He's fine.
He knew that it was going to ruin 20 years worth of work.
He knew that it was. I mean, he said it was because the alarm was annoying.
I mean, the alarm was annoying. He didn't know it was going to ruin 20.
That's valid.
He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. Obviously, he should have called somebody and been like, "Hey, this alarm is really annoying. What can I do?" But I mean, it's not like he was like, "I'm gonna ruin this whole 20 years worth of work for all these scientists." And then Mr. Farts shows up and like
he's got 2 messes to clean up now.
Foils his plants and his pants. Oh god. If you could only communicate using animal sounds for a day, which animal sound would you choose and why? And I need an example as well. You're gonna have to make an animal noise. Putting you on the spot here.
Man, it would be the crow from Hook.
Okay.
You know? I can't do it though. Rufio would be like, you can fly, you can fight, but you can't crow. I have not learned how to crow, but the dream is that's what it's all about, Opto. That's what this whole dream is, to learn how to crow.
It's never too late. Mr. Farts can crow. Now, I think the crowing is a little too much for me. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but I think the crow might be too weird for Mr. Farts.
No, the best part is, like, I'm the master of guys, too. So you'll be sitting there giving this big business presentation, Opto, and then you're going to poop yourself, and then you're just going to hear a crow off in the distance. You'll be like, Mr. Farts.
Mr. Farts, he's out there somewhere. I know he is.
And so no matter what, when people hear the crow, they know someone just pooped themselves. So they're all looking around like, who was?
Wow.
This is off the rails.
It is off the rails. I don't know what animal. I know what animal I would do, but I don't know what the actual noise is. And the story goes, I saw this like old like black and white cartoon, like kind of Cuphead style. And this cartoon dog is like trying to hide from his pursuers, and he dresses up like a moose. And so like whoever the people are trying to find the dog, they start looking around and seeing all these animals, and for each animal they look at, it makes like the noise that the animal would make. Then it comes over to this dog that's dressed like a moose. The dog has no idea what a moose sounds like, so he just looks at the camera and goes, "Moose." And that's the noise. I would just do that for an entire day. I would just be like, "Moose."
That's so good. Moose.
Moose. I want to know what an actual moose sounds like. It probably sounds pretty horrifying, I would think. Those things are huge. They are massive animals.
Aren't they jerks too? Like deadly? Like just don't mess with the moose?
Don't mess with them. They have those horns. They also weigh like 2 tons. They are not to be trifled with.
I respect animals. I stay away from them. Like, I'm scared of gerbils. That being said, I have a question for you, Opto.
Let's go. My turn.
How many hamsters would it take to overpower you and end you?
How many hamsters would it take to overpower me and end me? Okay, are they biting, or are they just?
Oh yeah, they want you dead. They want you dead. They're coming in hot. They have no fear for their own safety.
Ooh, 300.
300's a good number. Like that's about in the range I'm thinking. Like it's hard without seeing, but you're going to be able to fight off a ton of them. But once they start biting and the blood starts coming out and slowing you down, it's going to eventually there's a certain number. It's not unlimited.
Bloodthirsty, rabid gerbils. Yeah, they're
all charging
300. Yeah, 300. 300.
My father-in-law said he wouldn't be stopped. He's this old man, and he's like, no, there's no way you could put millions hamsters against me. I'm like, you're a fool, old man. He's still to this day
million hamsters
to accept the fact that hamsters could take him out.
There's no way, dude. 1 million hamsters. There's no way. I mean, if you had like full body armor on, I mean, I could see it. I could see maybe surviving a little bit longer, but they would still at some point they would overpower you.
If they found one crack in that body armor, it's all over.
That's
because
true.
That one, as soon as that one gets in there, you can't get them out.
Yeah.
And then you're done. And so you'd have to take off your armor and you're back to square one.
That's Mr. Fart's arch nemesis. He like controls hamsters.
Hamster Man.
Hamster Man. Oh
And his
god.
wheel of doom.
Hamster putting man in there seems so like cliche though. He needs to be like hamster guy or like
Hamster guy. I like it.
hamster guy. Yeah, I'm
I
hamster
did-
guy.
I did invent a superhero back in the day. I called him Bat Boy. He used to play minor league baseball, but he took like radioactive steroids and he became Bat Boy.
I feel like I feel like that has to be a superhero somewhere already.
Right?
That should be a thing. Some dude that just carries around a bat and he's like all roided out. Like
Taste my roid rage.
yeah, taste my roid rage. That's his catchphrase. That's his catchphrase. That's so
You're
good.
out of here.
And then Fart Man shows up and makes him poop himself. Like
Oh, they're partners in crime, right?
they're partners.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that-
apparently.
If you could have a conversation with any inanimate object, which object would you choose and what would you talk about?
Oh, an animate object. I
These
guess
questions are off the rails. I am very happy with how these came out.
off the rails. I guess like it has to be like some sort of old penny or something, like old piece of currency, just to be like, what's the craziest thing you were spent on, or like something like that, some historical thing.
I love that answer because there was a show called Kids in the Hall. Are you old enough to remember that? Do you remember Kids in the Hall on Comedy Central?
That sounds so familiar. Like there's like a 70% chance I know it.
It was a Canadian sketch show and it was on
I know
Comedy
it.
Central and it was awesome. And one of the scenes, these two guys are golfing and this dude's like telling the other dude like about his problems at work or whatever, and he's like, you know what I do? He was like, you need ass pennies, and he's like, what? And he's
I've
like,
seen that.
yes,
Exact skit
yes. And he's like,
recently.
dude, he's like, you get every week you go buy like 8 rolls of quarters or 8 rolls of pennies, and throughout the week you just put them up your butt for a little while, and then you go and spend them somewhere. And he's like, I've been doing this for 11 years. That's like 30 million pennies. So over that course, there is no doubt in my mind, it is statistically impossible that you haven't come across some of my ass pennies. And he's like, and every time you look your boss in the eye, you know you have my ass pennies in your pocket.
That's so good.
So-
My friend sent me that exact skit like literally 6 months ago. I didn't know it was from that show. It just
Yeah.
out of context. I'm like, why did you send this? It was just like a morning I woke up and I had that clip sent to me, and I'm like, thanks. It made my day.
That's
It
a good
was
way.
better.
That's a good way. That's a good way to wake up. That sketch is funny. All their stuff is super funny. That show is like holds up well to this day. Some of the sketches they do. It's so good. If you had to create a new holiday, what would it be called and how would it be celebrated?
Ooh, there's that like dead time where there's no holidays. Like all of our holidays are all in a row. So like sometime after New Year's, like get rid of Valentine's Day.
Instead of having Valentine's Day, have like an actual federal holiday there.
An actual federal day, and oh, I don't know. It's so cold then. I'm drawing a blank here. It has to be during that dead time, and like my favorite thing to do on holidays is just play video games, hang out,
Yeah.
like, and not go anywhere. Not fast food day, pizza party day, something like that. Party day, just party day,
Party
where
day.
you're legally obligated to order pizza, watch a movie, and play a game. It doesn't have to be a video game, but it has to be those things: pizza, movie, game, and it has to be done.
I like that. Mine's kind of like that, but not. I would want Jeff Bezos Day, and Jeff Bezos Day is he gives $100 to everybody in America. He just every year on the same day, nobody goes to work and you get $100. That'd be that's the holiday that I'm coming up with.
I have a question for you.
Be Bezos Day. What's up?
How is that kind of like pizza party day?
You have a free $100 and you don't have to go to work that day. You could buy at least 3 pizzas.
They're nothing alike. They're
you can
very different. There's no similarity. We already said it's a federal holiday, so that's a given. And Bezos Day is nothing like pizza, but they can be similar.
They
There's
can,
one intersection.
you can do whatever you want. What if you don't like pizza on pizza day? You know, you have $100. You can do whatever with. You can go watch a movie. You know, you can take your family out to dinner. You could do whatever you want on Bezos Day.
I like Bezos Day a lot. It's a good day. Not similar.
Not so, so on pizza day, do you get free pizza or do you have to get your own pizza?
Well, that's the beauty of it. Everyone knows you're ordering pizza, so all the pizza places will be competing against each other. So they'll offer deals. So no matter what, you're gonna find a good deal. But just go with your heart. You know, I imagine it's gonna be like, you know, because every pizza is gonna want to like put on their best show. So you'll get a good deal. It'll be packed. Pizza day is gonna be great. And what's required is that the day after pizza day, all pizza shops need to be closed so they can enjoy their own day, which will be, I don't know, what's the opposite of pizza? What do pizza workers want to eat when they're not working? Because they deserve a holiday too.
Sushi day.
Sushi day. Okay, you have pizza day and sushi day. All sushi chefs are off the day before pizza day, and all pizza people are off sushi day.
This is so thoughtful, and I actually really love this. And then everybody else that doesn't work in pizza or sushi just gets 2 days.
I agree. Yes. Yeah. Doesn't matter where. And they always, and it's like Thanksgiving, where it always falls during the week too. There's no way you get shortchanged with weekend. Like it never falls on Saturday. It's Sunday. Yeah. It's always Tuesday and Wednesday. So you work Monday, but it like no one cares because they know the next 2 days pizza and sushi day.
I hate that. Like what we're doing right now with the 4th of July. I hated going to work today and then I get off tomorrow and then I have to go back to work. I would rather just have a 3-day weekend, you know.
3 days. So what if we make it Monday and Tuesday? So it's a 4-day weekend.
No, Garfield said it best. Nobody likes Monday. So yeah, Monday and Tuesday. I love that. We'll make it a Monday and Tuesday. And because then everybody, that gives the weekend to prepare too, you know. Everybody can get ready, prepare all the pizza, all the sushi, and get ready. So yeah, no, I like that. Monday and Tuesday.
Cool.
Yeah. Instead of Valentine's Day,
we're getting rid of Valentine's Day. We are making pizza and sushi. And Bezos Day is actually that Sunday, so we all have money to spend on everything.
Yes. Now you're talking. This is the future that I want to be a part of. This is awesome. Yeah, we're out here fixing the world's problems, everybody. Thank you, Fart Man. Thank you. Or wait, yeah, Mr. Fart. Mr. Fart. Sorry, he didn't graduate from fart school to be called Fart Man. He graduated to be called Mr. He's a family man. Oh my God, I'm never gonna let this die. This is gonna keep going forever and ever.
It's not what I expected from the podcast. How we went down this. I'm happy we got here.
It's more than I expected. This is incredible, is what it is. If you could, we already answered that. If you trade places with a famous person, if you were a pizza topping, what would you be and why? What topping would you be?
What would I be, or what do I want?
What would you be? If you were a pizza topping, which topping would you be and why?
I'm trying to think. I'm like loud. I'm off-putting.
Pineapple. That's got to be
pineapple. Probably a pineapple. Yeah.
You'd be pineapple.
Yeah.
I think
there's no getting around it. I want to say pepperoni, but I'm not cool enough to be pepperoni.
Not cool enough.
No, more people would have to like me for me to be pepperoni. And pineapple, very divisive.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I'd be pineapple too. I think it's.
Yeah. That's why we get along.
Exactly. If you could travel back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
Probably don't go to college.
Damn, that's good. That's good. That's a good answer.
It costs a lot of money.
Without doxing yourself, I'm just guessing that your college degree has nothing to do with what your profession is now.
Communications media, so kind of. But I didn't learn anything from it. I just got a piece of paper that's not helpful.
Yeah.
And made some friends, I guess. I didn't need school to do that.
Yeah, it's not about the college degree. It's the friends that we made along the way.
Right, that cost a ton of money. Like hindsight, just go in a trade school and get like any sort of talent, you know. But
yeah. My only college story is I went to Panama City, Florida, for spring break one year, and we were drinking really heavily, and we're walking down the street to the beach, and this news crew stopped us to interview us, and they were like, oh, you know, like what college are you from? And like literally they're live on the air, and I just looked at the camera and I was like, I didn't go to college. I'm here just to drink and party, just live on the air. Oh man, but they were so expecting everybody they asked to be like, oh yeah, we're from whatever university. Sorry, my camera keeps cutting out. Today is the day for technical problems. I swear we never had this many issues.
That's what you get for inviting me. That's on you.
I know, it's all your fault, man. Can't believe you do this to me. You do this to me. It's okay. I can. Actually, now that you say that, it does make sense. Makes a lot of sense. Anyway, good night, everybody. What's next? Oh wait, what was the piece of advice was don't go to college. This is not, I really hope that nobody comes looking for real life advice to this episode. They're going to be like, I wish I could just look at people and make them poop their pants.
It's not don't go to college. If you're going to go to college and the money, have a, like, the wife went to school, wanted to be a registered dietitian, got it done, got a job. I'm like, I guess I'm going to go to school just because everyone's doing it. And that was a mistake. And hindsight, should have known better. But if you want to go to school and you have a plan, if you want to be a teacher, we need teachers. If you want to be an astronaut, I'm pretty sure you have to go to college for that. I'm not really sure. You know, go to school. School is good if you have a plan, but have a plan because it's expensive.
I want to know now. I want to know. I have to know. Do you have to go to college to be an astronaut?
Like, is there just a place we can go try out? Like, I would love me and you go down there with like a 6-pack of wheat sodas, see what we can do. And, you know, I'm pretty sure I could pass some of those astronaut tests.
Yeah, I can. The gravity thing where they just sling you around really fast, I could probably do on that. I'd be all right.
I assume the majority of the exam is just on a trampoline. I could crush a trampoline.
I could crush a trampoline. This is the answer. In addition to meeting all physical requirements, aspiring astronauts must have a master's degree and at least 2 years of relevant work experience. How do you, it's like the biggest trope. How do you get 2 years of experience being an astronaut before becoming an astronaut? How is that even a thing? Then comes the hard part. Astronauts must pass the NASA long duration flight astronaut physical. How? You must have 2 years relevant work experience to be an astronaut. Get out of here, Google. What even is that?
I've watched Star Wars. That counts. That's on my resume.
That's like 3 years. That's worth 3 years at least.
I have played Math Blasters. I'm pretty sure that has to do with space. That's like I'm in.
So
Math Blasters? They give you a diploma at the end of that. Like, I am the master of Math Blasters. So I'm good. We're good. I can print out 2 degrees if you want in.
I can get, I would love that. We could just slap my name on it. It'll be great. I've gotten a level 3 of Lunar Lander like a billion times. I can
you're in. A game called Gravatar on the Atari. I am so good at that. Dude, they'd be nuts not to have us. What is, like, true. Is there only one captain? Does only one guy fly the spaceship? Because I'll let you fly. I want to be the navigator, though.
I'm in. All right,
you're going good. You're going good.
You got the math degree. You can do the math blasting, and I'll do the pilot.
Yeah, we're good. All right.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
We'll be at Mars by tomorrow.
The Adventures of Cheesepopps and Opto. Let's go.
It's going to end up well.
It's gonna be so good. It's going to be like every game of Spelunky we've ever played.
Right.
If you could have any fictional creature as your personal assistant, which creature would you choose, and what tasks would you assign with them? Okay, so a penguin.
Just hanging out.
out.
I do not like assigning people to do things. Like,
fair.
You do you. I was a terrible supervisor. Just terrible.
It's the penguin. It's like, this is my personal assistant. Oh, really? What does he assist with? Nothing.
I'm going to put little rocks on their back, like in Batman Returns, and just the little hats. I just want them looking amazing.
They're just here for aesthetics.
Yeah. Like, my penguin will shoot you with a rocket if you mess with it. It's like, really? It's like, nah. It's filled with candy.
It's filled with candy. It's a riot on Halloween. We just have them shoot rockets full of candy at all the kids. Like,
Oh, it'd be great. Candy guns? That's not. Like, that's a terrible idea. Never mind. Just rocket blasted in the face with Bit-O honeys. It's all
yeah.
over.
Wait. So candy bars aside, what candy? Since we're on the subject, you said bit of honeys. Those are pretty good. What are the little button ones? You know what I'm talking about, the little button candies?
Like on the sheet of paper?
Those are really good too, but no, these are jujubes. Jujubes. Where they're like the little...
Oh, those are good. Those are good.
Yeah.
There's not a candy out there I don't really dislike. Like,
Paydays. I love
paydays. It's just peanuts. Yeah, they're good.
I like peanuts, but I don't like whatever the nougat they use in between the peanuts is. It just, I don't know.
I think you just don't like nougat. That's why you like those Snickers ice cream bars. You're anti-nougat, and our friendship is being tested right now.
Oh, how do you feel about Twix?
Oh, I love Twix.
Okay, I love Twix too. Okay.
Yeah, okay, friendship there, back solid.
Did you know that the left and the right Twix bars are different? They are layered differently. I found this out recently.
I did not. I did not.
They are layered differently. They are made differently in separate parts. I don't know if it's separate factories. I think they are made in the same factory, but they're separate processes to make the left and right. I did not know that.
I changed my answer from Snickers from the question like an hour ago. Reese's Cups.
Ooh, they're never enough. Even the 2-pack or the king size 4-pack, it's never enough.
Oh, you got to get like what you do is you buy. That's why Halloween is awesome. You buy way too much candy, and then you're like, well, we didn't hand it out, and then you have time between Halloween and Christmas should just be all candy.
Yeah. We it was either last Halloween or the Halloween before. It was so disappointing. Only like 3 or 4 houses in the neighborhood decorated. Nobody went trick-or-treating. We literally put a bowl of candy out on the patio, like on the porch, and nobody took any candy. It just sat there. Some lucky kid could have come up and just dumped the whole bucket of candy into his bag, and we would have been none the wiser. But no, there was no candy taken. And we had so much candy left over.
I feel like there's not enough. I feel Halloween was different, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's the same.
No, it was different. So was Christmas. Holidays do not have the same meaning that they used to. It's all marketing and just trying to get people to buy stuff, which it always was. But there was a spirit. There was a spirit there too. Now everybody's like, oh, Spirit Halloween, I can't wait till it opens, and they want to go buy costumes and stuff, but nobody really goes trick-or-treating anymore. Like,
did you ever go corning?
I don't know if that's safe to talk about, Cheesepopps.
Wait, do you know what that is? Like,
no, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. So you just take like dried corn, like it could even be popcorn seed, and it was always done. So when you were too old to trick or treat, like the first couple of years where you can't go trick or treating anymore, you wait for all the kids to be done and back home eating their candy, and then go up to a house and just throw all of the seed on the porch, like as hard as you could. And when you're inside and it gets done to your house, it's terrifying. You just hear, and it's so scary. And that's what all the kids that would, like, you would do that, and it's bad. You get in trouble if you get caught. Like you're running, right. You don't get caught.
Right.
So
I mean, you get in trouble if you TP somebody's house too. But kids used to do that.
Yeah, but you kind of like it would be an honor if someone TP'd my house.
Yeah,
like I would pretend to be mad, like who did this? But like that's what you kind of hope for, a little bit of like shenanigans. That's harmless. Don't break property. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But if it's something that the homeowner has to clean up slightly, hilarious, Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Oh man, I miss those days. I do. I don't think we're a long way from anything like that being a thing again. It's too dangerous out there, man. People.
Yeah, and then
people
all the doorbell cameras.
Crazy.
They'll catch us real quick.
All the doorbell cameras. I mean, it's Halloween. You can wear a mask. How many kids are dressed up like?
Man.
Yeah, it's clearly Fart Man. The one and only. No, nobody else is dressed like. No, it's Mr. Fart. It's Mr. Fart. They don't even know who the character is. They'll never catch him.
Wearing
Damn
jerseys.
You, Fart Man.
We'd be stupid enough to wear jerseys without names on the back.
Oh man, it's so good. So good. So we are getting close to the end of this episode. I am out of silly questions. So now I'm going to put the ball in your court for a few minutes. And is there anything you'd like to talk about? Any projects you have coming up? Do you want to talk about your stream at all? Or hopes and desires? Do you want me to be your therapist for a minute? Like anything, man.
This is my sense of humor. If you like it, Cheesepopps. I play Mario not well on Twitch. Trying to get into more retros. I like retro games like left to right 2D platformers. As soon as it gets 3D, I like 3D games, but not really to watch on Twitch. It's too hard to follow a lot of times. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just I like goofing around. I don't like taking video games serious. I want to get better, but I don't want to take it seriously. Like I think I'm gonna do crowd control Mario at some point, but crowd control is fun, but nothing too serious, just laid back. But I do have a question for you, Opto.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So you have the hottest date of your life. This is the most important date of all time. This is the biggest date, and you have to cook for your date. What is your meal that you are making? You can't buy it. You got to make it yourself.
Hottest date. Man, probably macaroni and cheese and hot dogs.
There's no way you're making that.
Yeah.
For your hottest date.
Jessica
Alba is coming over.
I have a rule. And this actually kind of ties back into stuff we were talking about earlier. I have a rule. Okay. Especially when this is dating advice with Opto. Always be yourself, right? And I can cook better things than macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. I do a wonderful fettuccine Alfredo. I do a lot of like eggs and chorizo type meals. Love it. Absolutely love it. But macaroni and cheese has a really sentimental place in my heart. It was my favorite food as a kid growing up. I would love it when my mom would make it. It means a lot to me. And so that's the way I would go with it. But also, when it comes to dating, you don't want to show this person that you're dating a version of yourself that you're not. My best advice for a first date, fart on the first date. If they stay, it was meant to be. If they leave, you just saved yourself a whole lot of time and heartache. There is no honeymoon period where for the first 3 months you were putting on the best version of yourself, and then you start to get more comfortable, and then they realize you're not exactly who they thought you were, and vice versa, right? I swear to God, me and my wife have been married for the better part of a decade. Farted on the first date. Icebreaker.
You just got lucky. You just got lucky.
I'm telling you.
Can you imagine like going to this girl's house and you're wearing like your suit, you got your corsage, like this is a big date. She comes out with macaroni and cheese and hot dogs and just beeps right next to you. Third date. That's third date. You have to at least pretend you're someone good on the first one, right?
Maybe. No. You can still be a gentleman. I'm not saying like fart on top of them. You have to work. You have to work it into the conversation somehow. You got to be classy about it. But you lift
up one cheek a little bit.
Yeah,
get a little lean.
Yeah, you make a joke or something. Like you're like, how high can a horse count? And then they're like, I don't know. How high can a horse count? And then you let 4 little small ones slip and you go farty too, like you got to be classy about it. you got to work it in. You can't just, you can't just do it. You can't just rip one. Also, with the macaroni and cheese thing, maybe not at dinner, don't do it while you're eating.
Just plop down a bowl and let it rip.
Yeah, dude, here's your macaroni and cheese. Womp.
Your hot dogs are in the microwave.
Although I'm sure some people would be fine with that, but no, that's you gotta work it into the conversation. I'm telling you, but even beyond the fart, again, just that comfortability thing. If you are super straight-laced and you're overthinking every action and trying to be like, you're trying to be somebody that you're not normally, like there will come a time where that will come crashing down and they will see you for what you really are. You might as well do it up front. You know, everybody farts. It's a regular bodily function. You know, my drummer for my old band, he dated this girl for like 2.5 years, and they lived together for a while. She would not poop in the same building as him. She would go to a different building to drop a deuce.
It's wild. I
That
know
is,
people like that though. I do.
it's exactly why it didn't work out, man. Like if they can't love you at your worst, then they're not going to. And that's just the truth. That's the hard truth of it. You fart in front of your wife?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, see, exactly.
The other night I woke us. It was. I am 38 years old. I am telling you, Opto, this was the loudest fart of my 38 years on this planet. It woke both of us up from a dead sleep, and we had covered. Or the air conditioning was blasting, so we were covered in our comforter, and the house was shaking, and I could feel myself emptying out, and it just coming out. And I was like, "Oh my god." And then she normally she'd be mad. I just woke her up at 3 a.m. She was like, "Are you what?" Like it was just stunned. Like, was it an earthquake? I'm like, no, that was from me. And she originally thought it was her because it shook her so much and it was so loud.
Can't breathe. Oh god. It's like
that.
It's like that one Vine where the girl is sleeping on her back and she gets water poured on her face and she just sits up and goes hello, like she's not like freaking out because she got water poured on her. She's still like half asleep. She's like hello, like that's kind of that's
I will
how
remember this part until the day I die. And like I cannot stress enough how loud it was. And I've had this was a game changer. Like this one, we are going to remember, you know, forever.
It's
forever.
The ultimate. It's the ultimate.
It
yeah.
It felt great. Yeah. I felt empty afterwards. I felt like a new man.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so for everybody watching, if you are in a relationship where you do not poop in the same building or you don't fart in front of your significant other, I got bad news for you. If you don't start and it's not comfortable for both of you, it's not going to work. It's not. You can't live your whole life like this. You have to.
It's up to you, but I say maybe hold it in on the first date. Maybe wait for the second date. That's just me, though. That's just me. I held it in on the first date. Yeah. I'm looking down on you. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, it's like I said, it needs to be the right moment. You don't force it. Don't like make a point to like, oh, when am I gonna do this? You know, during the first date. But just if it happens naturally, you know, just go with the flow. You know, let it rip. Yeah, pull the trigger. Because seriously, if they're like, oh my god, that's the worst thing ever, and then they leave, like it was not gonna work out anyway, and you just saved yourself a couple more awkward dates. Yeah.
My concern is that, like, let's say this is like you're 16 years old and you're going on a date, and even if she is cool with it, then she's gonna go tell all of her friends about the date. And so like Becky and Stacy are gonna be like,
oh,
what?
No.
And then your reputation is done. And so you're not gonna get another date, or like even if she is cool with it.
I'm gonna have to bust out a bullet point a PowerPoint bullet presentation of why that is so wrong, which you just said. One, I don't think this is not really the target audience for 16-year-olds. Number one. Number two, if you're 16, you should not be worrying about getting married or anything like that. Yeah, probably if you're 16, don't fart on the first date. That's not going to get you anywhere. If you're an adult and you're looking for a real relationship that is going to last, then that's when you slip one out. Yeah.
that makes more sense. I mean, I've been with my wife since I was like early 20s, like for like 15 plus years. So right. Like when I think of dating, I put myself in a much younger mindset.
Oh, so yeah, that makes more sense.
Now we're on the same page, I think. Yeah, if I were to date now, then yes, I might let one rip and be like, it is what it is, babe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, definitely when you're that young, it's, yeah, you kind of have to put on the best version of yourself at that point. But like over the drinking age, and you're like looking for like a real relationship that's going to stand the test of time, yeah, go ahead and just lay yourself out bare. If you can't love me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. You know what I mean?
All right, we're on the same page now. Team beef.
Team beef. Team beef. That's Mr. Fart is on Team Beef. He's the mascot.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think I could laugh anymore. I think there's a couple more in there. I think I've got a couple more in me, but we're gonna wrap it up here. This is a tradition for every episode, Cheesepopps. At the end of every episode, I am gonna put you on a pedestal. I say pedestal every time. It's not a pedestal. It's a podium. Dang these P words. All right, I'm gonna put you on a podium in front of 1 million people. Okay, and you get a chance to spread your message to the world. Now, in previous episodes, some people have given messages about mental health. Some people have given messages about the political climate. Some people have self-promoted. One person, this is my favorite, he even just said mommy milkers. Like, that was his message to, if you got a chance to say something to 1 million people, that was his message to the world. And now, Cheesepopps, it is your turn. You are in front of 1 million people. The crowd's going wild. You get this, the crowd starts simmering down. They're all listening intently, waiting for you to say your piece. What are you gonna say?
Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world, and you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind. That word should have more meaning, new meaning for us all today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into that good night. We will not vanish without a fight. We are going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Yes. Okay, no lying. Do you have it pulled up? Somewhere?
Oh yeah, that's what took me a minute. I had to pull it up. I'm gonna watch that so much tomorrow.
Okay. I was like, there's no way he memorized that. That was so good. That was
I need to memorize that now. It has to be done.
Or at the very least, just pre-record it and have it as like the intro to your starting soon screen or whatever when you start stream. That is so good. That was so fantastic. I was like, I had my hand over heart, and as soon as you said our Independence Day, I saluted. It was so good.
So good. And honestly, though, like, be excellent to each other and party on. It's not hard. It really isn't. That's my message.
Yeah. Love everybody. Treat people the way that you want to be treated.
It's not hard. It's really not. Like, you don't even have to like everyone. Just back off, you know?
Yeah.
If we like each other, no one's forcing us to hang out. Just, I'll respect you. You do your thing.
It's true. Until you kill my rock dog in Spelunky, then I'm on a mission of vengeance.
That's my rock dog.
There will be blood. Cheesepopps, you were a gem, dude. I love you so much. Thank you for being on the episode. Thank you for playing games with me tonight. Thanks for being my friend and hanging out. I cannot wait until we do this again. And
that
to
was a
all
blast.
you, dude, it was absolutely insane. Laugh from start to finish. I can't wait to get this uploaded and watch it over and over and over again. To all you watching at home, they're out there on the YouTubes. Go find Cheesepopps. Right below him is his Twitch channel. Go find him. Go show him some love. Drop him a follow. You guys are all awesome. Again, be excellent to each other, and I will see you next week on a very special episode of Wonder Bathos, where I will be interviewing myself. I owe you guys a personal episode. Haven't decided if I'm going to have previous guests come on and ask the questions or not. I might. Or I might just have you guys submit your questions in and read them and answer them out loud for you guys. And then we're right back on schedule to all new guests coming in. I still have a bunch of friends to ask to be on the show. So I'll see you guys then. Until then, party on. And remember, Mr. Fart is coming.